She was the only black girl in the office. Surrounded by polished suits and arrogant smiles, she walked in with hope in her heart. But what she faced was nothing but humiliation, mockery, and cruel laughter. Yet, destiny had a surprise waiting. The girl they rejected would one day own the very building they worked in. The glass doors slide open. A tall corporate tower stands shining in the sunlight. Employees in crisp suits rush in and out, holding laptops and coffee cups. Amara Williams, 24, walks nervously into the building. Her clothes are neat but simple. An old brown cardigan, a faded skirt, and worn-out shoes. She clutches her bag tightly, her curly hair slightly unkempt, but her eyes full of determination. She whispers to herself, "First day, Amara, you can do this." Inside the elevator, a group of stylish young employees glance at her. One of them, Sophie, smirks. "Which department is she cleaning?" Another, Michael, chuckles. "Probably the mailroom, definitely not finance." Amara pretends not to hear, but her grip on the bag tightens. Amara is introduced to her department, finance analysis. Everyone looks polished, confident, with shiny new laptops. The manager, Mr. Collins, says flatly, "This is Amara Williams, our new junior analyst." The room falls silent for a moment. Then someone whispers just loud enough, "A junior analyst dressed like that?" They laugh quietly. Amara forces a polite smile, sits down at her desk, and opens her notebook. At lunch break, Amara carries her food tray into the cafeteria. She sits at an empty table, quietly eating her homemade sandwich. Sophie and Michael pass by. Sophie says, "Wow, look at that sandwich. Bread and lettuce. So vintage." Michael chuckles. "I didn't know this was a charity office." They laugh and walk away. Amara lowers her eyes, but doesn't respond. Days pass. Amara works late every night, studying spreadsheets, learning formulas, and staying long after the others leave. The janitor often finds her still typing under the dim office lights. Janitor, smiling kindly, says, "You're always here, young lady. Don't let 'em break you." Amara smiles faintly. "I'm not here to fit in. I'm here to grow." One morning, Amara presents a report correction that saves the department from a costly mistake. But instead of praise, Sophie sneers, "Beginner's luck. Don't get too excited." The others nod dismissively. Mr. Collins simply says, "Noted, back to work." Amara swallows her disappointment, but her resolve hardens. That night at home, Amara looks through an old wooden box. Inside are her late father's papers, stock certificates, old letters, investment receipts. Her eyes well up as she whispers, "Papa, I'll make you proud. I'll show them who I am." She places her father's old fountain pen beside her laptop, her silent promise to him. Weeks turn into months. The humiliation continues. Her colleagues forget to invite her to meetings. They laugh at her second-hand clothes. They mock her accent when she gives presentations. But Amara stays strong, writing everything down, learning silently. They thought their cruelty was breaking her, but every insult became fuel. Every laugh became a reason to fight harder. It's Monday morning. The entire department gathers in the glass-walled conference room. Charts glow on the projector, numbers flashing across the screen. Mr. Collins, the manager, frowns at a major error in the quarterly report. "This mistake could cost us millions." Everyone turns to Amara. Sophie smirks. "Obviously, who else could it be?" Amara stands nervously. "With respect, sir, I didn't handle that section, but I did notice a discrepancy." "Oh, please, stop pretending you know finance. Just stick to taking notes." Laughter ripples through the room. Amara's hands shake, But she doesn't argue further. She quietly writes down corrections in her notebook. Later that night, Amara works alone in the office. As she double-checks reports, she hears two senior colleagues gossiping near the water cooler. "Can you believe they hired her just to tick a diversity box? Yeah, she'll never last here. Not our kind of people." Amara's chest tightens, but she keeps typing, pretending she doesn't hear. Tears threaten, but she blinks them back. Back at home, Amara spreads out her father's papers again. Her late father had once been a quiet investor in this very company. Decades ago, he had purchased a small block of shares, then left them untouched. Amara whispers to herself, "I may be small now, but Papa planted a seed, and one day it's going to grow." She begins researching the company's stock value, its board members, and how shares are transferred. The next day, Amara enters the cafeteria with her lunchbox. Sophie and Michael sit at a crowded table with others. Michael waves her over mockingly. "Hey, Amara, sit with us. Tell us, how's life in the ghetto?" Everyone chuckles. Sophie adds, "Maybe she can tutor us on surviving without designer brands." Amara forces a smile and quietly walks away, sitting at a corner table alone. She opens her lunch, rice and beans. Her colleagues shake their heads and laugh. But as she eats, Amara silently reviews her father's investment notes on her tablet. She ignores their cruelty. A few weeks later, rumors spread in the office. The company's board might sell some controlling shares. There's a mysterious buyer bidding aggressively. The staff speculate about billionaires, big corporations, foreign investors. Nobody suspects Amara. One evening, as Amara leaves late, Mr. Collins stops her. "Williams," he says coldly, "I've been watching you. Let me give you advice. You'll never fit in here. You don't look the part, you don't act the part. Maybe find somewhere smaller, less professional." Amara swallows the lump in her throat. She forces herself to reply with respect. "Thank you, sir, but I believe I belong exactly where I am." She walks away, tears burning her eyes, but her back straight. That night, Amara can't sleep. She sits by her desk at home, papers and laptop open. She calculates, recalculates, checks her father's investments, and connects with lawyers. On her desk, her father's old fountain pen glistens under the lamp. She whispers, "Papa, the time has come." In the office, people whisper excitedly. Some new investor has bought a huge stake. The boardroom is tense. A takeover is coming. Sophie rolls her eyes. Well, whoever it is, it won't change our world. We'll still be the stars. People like Amara will always be shadows. She throws a smirk at Amara, who quietly keeps typing, hiding a tiny smile. The janitor, Mr. Lewis, who always admired Amara's dedication, says one evening as she leaves, "You remind me of a tree, young lady. They can chop your branches, laugh at your roots, but when your season comes, you'll bloom taller than them all." Amara smiles warmly for the first time in weeks. "Thank you, Mr. Lewis. Maybe that season is closer than they think." One Monday morning, the office buzzes with tension. Everyone is whispering, "Big news! The company is under new ownership. Some secret investor has bought controlling shares." The employees gather in the lobby. Sophie flips her hair proudly. "Finally, someone important will take charge. Maybe we'll get a real boss who knows quality." Michael laughs. "Hopefully they fire the dead weight first." He nods toward Amara. Amara stays silent, holding her old notebook tightly. The current CEO, Mr. Harrison, steps forward with a nervous smile. "Ladies and gentlemen, today marks a new chapter for our company. A new majority shareholder has taken control. This person represents the future of our firm. Please welcome Ms. Amara Williams." Gasps echo through the lobby. Every head snaps toward Amara. Sophie, "What?" Michael, "That can't be right." Amara steps forward calmly, her worn cardigan replaced with a sharp, elegant black suit. Her natural curls are styled neatly. Her heels click confidently on the marble floor. Behind her, lawyers and board members walk with respect. Sophie stutters. She's just a junior analyst. Amara turns her steady gaze toward her colleagues. I was a junior analyst, but I am also the daughter of Joseph Williams, an early investor in this company. He planted seeds here decades ago, and I've nurtured them. Today, those seeds give me the honor of being your new owner. Whispers spread like wildfire. Michael mutters, all those nights she stayed late. She wasn't just working, she was planning. Mr. Collins, the manager who mocked her, steps forward, flustered. This must be a mistake. You can't possibly run this company. Amara looks at him firmly. You're right about one thing, Mr. Collins. I can't run this company alone, which is why I'll be keeping those who show respect, honesty, and hard work. But arrogance, cruelty, and mockery, she pauses, her voice sharp, have no place in my office. Employees glance at Sophie and Michael, who suddenly shrink in their seats. Sophie forces a smile, trying to cover her fear. Amara, darling, you know we were just joking all those times, right? Amara's calm voice cuts through the room. Jokes don't leave scars, Sophie, but your words did, and I'll make sure no one else suffers what I did here. She turns to the staff. From today, respect is the rule. No matter someone's color, background, or clothes, you will treat every colleague as an equal. The room is silent, but the janitor, Mr. Lewis, who had always encouraged her, smiles proudly from the back. Amara walks into the boardroom, sits at the head of the table, the very seat she once feared to approach. She places her late father's fountain pen on the desk, as if he is there with her. She entered this building as a girl mocked for her skin and clothes. Now she sat as the woman who owned it all. The office atmosphere changes overnight. Those who once mocked Amara now avoid her gaze. Whispers of regret float in the air. Michael slouches at his desk, his confidence gone. Sophie stares blankly at her reflection, her arrogance replaced by fear. But Amara? She doesn't gloat. She walks through the same halls with dignity, greeting the receptionists and even the janitors with warmth. The elderly janitor, Mr. Lewis, who once told her, "Keep your head high, girl," approaches her office door. He hesitates, but Amara waves him in. "Mr. Lewis, without your kind words, I might have given up long ago," she says softly. He smiles, tears glistening in his eyes. "I just told the truth, child. You were born to rise." Amara takes his hand. And now it's my turn to lift others. Later that week, Sophie knocks nervously on Amara's door. Her voice trembles. "Amara, I'm sorry. I didn't mean half the things I said. I was jealous, insecure. Please don't fire me." Amara studies her for a long moment. "You hurt me, Sophie, but firing you won't heal me. Change will. From now on, prove that you can respect people, not just their titles." Sophie nods quickly, humbled in a way she's never been before. Amara gathers the entire office in the boardroom. She stands tall at the head of the table, her voice calm but commanding. "I know what it feels like to be invisible, to work hard and be mocked instead of praised. That ends today. This company will not just build profits, it will build people." Gasps of surprise ripple through the room as she announces new policies. Scholarships for interns from poor backgrounds. Promotions based on merit, not appearance or connections. Mental health and diversity programs for all staff. Months pass. The office once filled with arrogance now buzzes with respect. Employees work harder, but they also smile more. Amara's leadership not only boosts profits, but changes lives. Even Sophie, once the loudest critic, becomes a mentor to junior staff. Michael, humbled, learns to value teamwork instead of mockery. One evening, Amara stays late in her office. She opens the drawer and takes out her father's old photograph. She whispers, "We did it, Dad. We did it." The city lights reflect in her eyes, but this time there are no tears of pain, only pride. Amara walked into that building as a girl everyone laughed at, but she walked out as the woman everyone respected. Life has a way of turning pain into power and silence into strength. Never underestimate the one you mock today, because tomorrow they may be the one signing your paycheck. Moral of the story? Respect is free, but its absence can cost everything.